Hello to everybody that is attending. And once again, just thank you so much for having me. Like you said before, to be somebody that is 19 years old, a sophomore in college, paying student loans, and an out of state student hailing all the way from New Jersey to be at something like this is truly incredible. And it hasn't given me any pause. And I'm just so grateful to be here. And I want everybody to know that this piece is truly a reflection of my soul as somebody who loves other people, who cares for others, who wants to teach, and who sees the beauty in everybody around me. So back in high school, right, I was at a pool party with some friends, and we're all like laughing, having a good time. And a friend of mine looks over at me and says, like, hey, I don't know if you know this, but there's a heart on your sleeve. And I'm laughing. I'm like, what are you talking about? And no, because it wasn't beating. I had a perfectly heart-shaped vein on my arm. Perfectly shaped. It looks like an actual heart, I promise. And the funny thing was about that, it just felt a little too accurate because for a long time, that was exactly how I had lived. Heart on my sleeve, soul in my hands, giving away love like it was something that I had an endless supply of. And I believed in something very dangerous. I once believed that relationships didn't have to be mutual. And if somebody needed love, that I would give it without hesitation. If somebody needed patience, I would stretch myself thin until patience became pain because the love I had for other people was just unconditional, ever growing and flowing like a river that never stopped to ask who was drinking from it or why. And here's the thing that nobody will ever tell you about people who care deeply for others is that sometimes the kindest hearts will walk with the heaviest chains and shackles around the spirit and apologies on repeat. I'm sorry for speaking, and I'm sorry for feeling, and I'm sorry for taking up space in a room that never minded that you were there, because somewhere along the way I just started believing that you deserve to hurt more than you deserve the love that you give. And what felt like a blessing eventually started to feel like a burden. Like loving others was an art form that I mastered, while loving myself was a language that I never learned to speak. But you know what? Along the lines, something shifted. Not loud, not sudden, just a very quiet realization that loving people should never require abandoning yourself. And that compassion should never come with chains. And that the same heart that I spent years giving away was still mine to keep. And I'm just so very, very grateful for the people in my life who remind me of that. And the ones who didn't accept my unnecessary apologies. The ones who told me to stand a little taller, even though I was small, and to speak a little louder, even though I already had a mic, and that I deserve the same love that I kept handing out to other people. So yes, there is still a literal heart on my sleeve. And above all, I choose to care in a world that doesn't. But I understand something that I didn't back then, that a heart on your sleeve does not mean you hand it to everyone that reaches for it. And it doesn't mean to shrink yourself to make somebody else feel taller. And it doesn't mean apologizing for a kindness that was never really a crime. No, it means knowing that the love you give was never meant to leave you empty. Because the same heart that I spent years offering to the world was quietly waiting for me to offer it to myself. And the truth is, I don't believe that loving yourself is selfish. No, I really think it's standing up after years of bowing your head and saying that you deserve the same love that you've been giving away. And now I can say confidently that I have a heart that beats with boundaries, with dignity, and with a love that finally knows where home is. And for the first time in a very, very long time, that home is me. Thank you.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much, Simone. I don't remember what I was sitting next to, was that? I wasn't at the club season, so because this was